Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So it is official. Eddie Hearn has now signed Shakur Stevenson to Matchroom Boxing. So not a surprising development considering the time that has been spent between Eddie Hearn and Shakur Stevenson. But I do want to share my screen and read the official announcement of Shakur Stevenson signing with Matchroom. So Eddie Hearn did go to Twitter and share this news. So let me see if I can find it here quickly. Here we go. So let me share my screen. We're going to go to Twitter here real quick. And we're going to go, let's see if we can find Mr. Eddie Hearn. My apologies. I should have already had this up, but it is what it is. So Shakur has officially signed with Matchroom, and here's Eddie Hearn about 3 hours ago talking about this. He says, "You've heard me say this for years, just how special this young man is, and that was even before signing him. I believe at Shakur Stevenson is a generational great, 27 years old, 3-division world champion, and he's hardly out of first gear. Welcome to the team, champ. Let's work." So that is from Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing. Now, as I mentioned, this isn't surprising that he signed with Eddie Hearn. He had been spending a significant amount of time with Eddie Hearn. He had been spending some time with Turkey Al-Sheikh as well. So Shakur Stevenson signing over to Eddie Hearn is no surprise as far as I'm concerned. Now, yesterday during my Wednesday evening rant, I do that sometimes. The next one will probably be this Friday evening rant. But, and make sure you always join us every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my partner Jason and I. But a Shakur fan joined the live stream, and he wanted to discuss Shakur Stevenson, and he made up some ridiculous excuses for why Shakur Stevenson is currently fighting Joe Cordina. And I've seen this type of logic not only from this gentleman, but also from other individuals across the comment section, Twitter, and our Discord, talking about Shakur Stevenson and giving him an out, giving him a pass for fighting this guy, which we know in reality really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, this gentleman went down the path of saying that if you look at the WBC, the only opponent that was available was Joe Cordina, because at the end of the day, Shakur was signing with Matchroom Promotions, and that was the only guy that was associated with Matchroom. And he wasn't going to fight anybody that was on Top Rank because of the relationship that recently occurred with Top Rank, right? That disillusion of a relationship with Top Rank. The issue that I had with that was, number one, we just saw Top Rank put their premier heavyweight, Big Baby, in the ring with a gentleman that he clearly was not ready for, and he got cooked. And the reason why they did that, was because money was involved. Money talks, bullshit walks, and we understand that at the end of the day, Top Rank is looking for a way to finance their situation. So I don't doubt for 1 minute that they would do business with Shakur Stevenson. So that was ridiculous. But if you look at Matchroom, they have a guy at 135 signed to them currently, in Andy Cruz, who, if I'm not mistaken, is ranked number 5 or number 6 in the WBC. So clearly there was an opportunity to make better fights than Joe Cordina. So I think about what is occurring now. And I think about some of the comments that I've made in the past. What's different with Turkey Al-Sheikh? In bed with the sanctioning bodies, putting on fights that are not necessarily all that competitive. The only difference is he's getting fleeced by the fighters for making such events. That's the only difference. And now, with Eddie Hearn involved, you have to ask yourself, what's the probability that Shakur Stevenson is actually going to fight Gervonta Davis? I think it's quite slim. And I've been saying this for a while. His energy changed once Shakur and Tank were free. When he had a fight, he was all on Twitter with his big chains on and shirt off, talking about how, stop talking about Floyd. There's a fighter in your division that wants to fight you. And even as recent as the build-up, the lead-up Frank Martin versus Gervonta Davis, he was still calling, take all kind of, PUSSYs and all this other stuff. But the moment where there's an opportunity where both gentlemen are free, nothing. So this, quote unquote, as one person used it, other side of the street situation, as I've mentioned before, exists in boxing. And in theory, Turki Al-Sheikh was supposed to be the solve for this, right? Because what I heard was that Turki was consolidating boxing, and Turki is making the best fights in boxing, and he's bringing promotional entities together to make the biggest and best cards. Do you guys really think a Gervonta Davis fight is not going to happen? Because I don't think so. I think that created a block. And I think it's going to be extremely challenging now to make a fight between Shakur Stevenson. Maybe he'll fight him, maybe. But right now, quote unquote, international Kerr is active, quote unquote. And I believe that international Kerr is more of, Kerr, I'm going to see if I can bank as much money for as little risk as possible. And I want to see if we see the same backlash from certain individuals who have supported Shakur in the past. Will you now support these behaviors and actions when you've been critical of other fighters that you claim are doing the same thing? It's going to be interesting. I think a lot of people are going to be, I don't know, man. What's the term? Showing their hands, showing that they are extremely hypocritical. I'm happy for any fighter that gets the opportunity to make as much money as they possibly can. And it doesn't matter to me what entity they're at. But my whole philosophy has always been, hey, don't try to make more money than what it is that you should deserve. Because number one, I hate for people to act like it feels very WNBA-ish. Some of these fighters are very WNBA-ish. Want to be supplemented, wants to be subsidized. I want you to subsidize me. I don't like that, specifically in sports where you have a bunch of men. You cannot be subsidized. It's a business. But if there's an opportunity out there for you that's going to maximize your market value, I have no issue with that. By all means, go sign with whoever it is you want to sign. But let it be known that that's what you're doing. Don't tell me you chasing greatness. Don't tell me you want to fight the best. Tell me you want to make the bag, and I can respect that. So that other people understand that and they're not in the comment section defending you when we say that something is not a good fight. Joe Cordina, not a good fight. Don't want to hear any defense of because if we know if Gervonta Davis was fighting those same two, had just fought, I can't even think of the guy's name right now that came off the loss to Frank Martin and then was now fighting a guy that just suffered a TKO loss. Oh my God, they would fillet him. Absolutely fillet him. So it is what it is. Gervonta is rumored to be fighting a guy coming off of or at least he has risen to the top or is the top option for Gervonta Davis, according to some. I don't know if that's true or not, but we will see. You guys tell me what you think in the comment section. Shakur Stevenson just signs with Matchroom. Is the fight with Gervonta Davis dead now? Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast at M Sports Media, and we are